All right, welcome or welcome back. Today we're going to get into part 4 of my series Author Rebinds His Own Book, in which I, author Edward Nile, show you how I took a paperback copy of my upcoming epic fantasy novel, Godless, Book 1 of the Xaidra Cycle, and rebound it into an epic leather-bound tome. So at this point, I've done all of the steps with the text block, spraying the edges, adding the headbands, adding the end sheets and the bookbinding cloth. In part 3, I got into tooling and carving, in which I started putting these designs that you see into the leather. I'm going to speed through the rest of the carving and tooling here. As you can see, the front cover is more or less done, and now I'm getting into the carving on the back. You'll see a big symbol there on the cover, which is a fire sprite crest. The sprites are these elemental beings in the world of Xaidra that people will capture and use to their own end, either as weapons or as tools. A fire sprite takes an integral role in the narrative of Xaidra, and particularly in Godless in this first book. So I thought part of the fire sprite's binding verse and the fire sprite crest would be a nice thing to add to the back. So all the symbols I created for this book, for this series, and I'm pretty happy with how they turned out, especially now it gives me nice symbols to carve into the leather, which, using the symbols and using the God script language, I decided would give this cover a more arcane kind of fantasy feel, more like it's a book from the world of Xaidra, whereas my original design had the title and the author name in English. I decided, well, this copy is just something for myself. Why not just have it all be the symbols and runes I've invented and look like it actually came from within the world? Gotta say, I'm happy that I made that decision. It also saved me on some carving, but really it did improve the overall look and feel of the book. I'll probably if I ever do another rebind, say if I get any kind of custom orders or something, I might do some different, try out some different designs and mix it up. And now I am going to start getting into dyeing the leather, is adding color to it. I'm going to start out using some nitrile gloves to protect my hands from the dye, and then you'll see I very quickly abandon the gloves entirely and just opt to have to wash my hands a bunch and use rubbing alcohol to try to get this alcohol-based dye I'm going to use out of my skin. If you're ever dyeing leather, just know it stains the hell out of your skin, and generally it takes a few days to go away. Because it is meant to dye skin. It's meant to dye cowhide. Doing some test pieces and dyeing the little straps that I intend to add to the book. trying out with different shades of brown, from lighter to darker. I was trying to go for like a kind of a two-tone, which didn't take as well as I had hoped. I mean, it probably would have been fine looking at it now, but I ended up just going with the dark brown all over. And now that we have the dye applied, the base color of the leather, now we'll be able to get into painting. Now, as far as the God script, because all of it is kind of indented into the leather, similar to how I did with my Lord of the Rings rebind, which of course I didn't make a video for, so just take my word for it, but what I did with the ring inscription on the back of the Lord of the Rings rebind was I just applied the paint, smeared it on so it would gather in all those crevices, and then wiped it away from the rest of the surface. And I try that here, and it works, but I did come back in with a toothpick and really get into those finer details a lot more later off camera to really get the final result the way I wanted it. And the painting up until then was kind of a messy process. I'm not very good at painting. I thought the copper-toned metallic leather paint would do well for the main symbols, the Fire Sprite crest and the Belkin crest, and for some of the other accents, and then gold for the rest. I am using I think the brand's name is Angelus. It's a leather paint. I did buy some gold leaf in hopes of using it for this project, and I cannot wrap my head around gold leaf right now. I have to get some other kind of adhesive to use on it, and it's just... I'm more used to paints. Even though I'm not good at paints, I'm still more used to them. So in the future, I'll probably do some practice runs with some more practice runs with gold leaf and get acquainted with it for future projects. And this concludes part 4 of author rebinds his own book. There should be one more part left where I show you how I put everything together and some of the the straps and the other things I attached to make a completed piece. Yeah, I am busy at the final proofing stage of Godless. I will be reaching out to reviewers pretty soon to send out advanced reader copies. Godless, book 1 of the Xaidra Cycle, comes out in a couple of weeks. So I'm really excited for that, and I'm glad I could share this process of rebinding my own copy with you all. So with that said, take care, have a great day.